Hey there, it's Mindy. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a modern wood bench. This build is simple, budget-friendly, and beginner-friendly. So let's get started. If this is your first time here, the purpose of this channel is to give you ideas and inspiration for decorating your home on a budget. In the description box, you will find the link to any tools that I use, and if you're brand new to woodworking, go ahead and check out the link above for a video on my beginner tool recommendations. In just a minute, I'll put all my measurements up on the screen, but as you can see here, they're all simple, straight 90-degree cuts, and it's easy to do. You could even take the measurements and have it cut down at the hardware store. I've already made all my cuts and dry fitted my pieces, and I'm marking the placement so that my bench is even and level. So here's the list of all my measurements. You can pause the video here or go to the description box. To assemble my bench, I first made each leg by attaching the 9-inch 2x2s to the 16-inch pieces, creating a rectangle. I used my Craig jig to make pocket holes in both ends of the 9-inch 2x2s, and I made sure to face them towards the outside ends of the leg assembly. You'll see how it comes together in just a minute, but I also use wood glue along with the 2.5-inch pocket screws to put both legs together. If you don't have a Craig jig or pocket hole jig, you could use wood screws to put the entire bench together, but I wanted to do mine this way so that I wouldn't have any visible screws, and you'll see at the end when it's all put together. Here is how each leg comes together. I added the wood glue to the 9-inch pieces and clamped it down with the 16-inch and screwed in the pocket holes. And it's a simple joint, but the pocket holes make it so much sturdier than if you were to just use regular wood screws from the outside. And you'll see I added one 9-inch piece, then the second 16-inch, but I would suggest adding the two shorter pieces to one side of the rectangle and then attaching the second 16-inch piece. This will make the assembly much easier. Once both legs are assembled, I added my support piece, also known as a stretcher. I've been looking up some woodworking terms in my spare time, so that's what that's called. But I also made pocket hole screws in this piece, and it'll also be attached facing the outer end of the leg, and you'll see in just a minute how it comes together. And so I made it so that in the end, this build will have no visible screws in the base. And here I made sure to find the center of each leg where my stretcher would attach. And you can see I struggled a little to get this piece at a level height in order to screw the pieces together, but I did get it done. If you have a woodworking bench or table, this would be a lot easier, or maybe if you have a second set of hands, that would be helpful. So I attached the stretcher like this, and I'll show you that all the pocket holes are facing down, and this will be the piece that is on the floor. So this is being assembled upside down. I assembled the 2x4 piece in the same manner, and here you can clearly see what I mean when I say all the pocket holes are facing the outer end of the base. So this piece will actually attach to the top of the bench to support the seat. To finish my bench, I attached the plywood piece using 2-inch wood screws, which I did pre-drill, and here I'm adding glue to the entire base so that I can have a nice solid piece. But unfortunately my camera died and I don't have all the footage of me attaching it, but what I did was pre-drill the holes, put the wood screws into the plywood, and then shifted it so that the plywood piece would sit where the pre-drilled holes were and I could easily attach it. I will give you a close-up of the finished piece so you can see how the wood screws are attached. So I will be upholstering my bench as part of my kitchen makeover, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see the final look of the bench, but you could easily use a couple of 2x8 boards to create this seat if you didn't want to do any upholstery. I'm going for a minimal modern look with mine, and that's why I decided to do it this way. Plus, it was a little more cost effective for me to use the plywood because I bought an entire sheet to use for another project. So it worked out in the way that I had all the pieces on hand. So here I'm gonna link a woodworking playlist for more simple woodworking projects that I've done, and be sure to check that out if you need some ideas. If this video taught you something new or gave you some inspiration, go ahead and give it a like and leave a comment. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you can come back for more home decor on a budget. As always, thanks for watching.